Hi Capital Factory, my name is Cameron Brown. I grew up in Austin, graduated from Texas A&M University in 2010, and have been living here in Bogota, Colombia for the last 8 months. Since my co-founder is in a different hemisphere, he can't actually join me today, so I will be representing both of us. So the problem that we're dealing with is bike safety. People do not wear their helmets regularly enough, and when they do, sometimes they don't wear it appropriately. The following are some surprising statistics that show what we're dealing with. For example, did you know that 91% of bicyclists killed in 2008 were not wearing their helmets? And bicycles cause more head injuries than football, baseball, skateboarding, and snowboarding combined? How about only 35% of people wear their helmets on all bicycle trips? So obviously we have a problem. The question is, how are we going to fix it? Okay, so we gotta figure out a way to get people, and especially children, to start wearing their helmets more regularly. And I think I've created a product that will do just that. It's actually pretty simple, and there's really only two parts. The first part is the helmet. Inside the helmet, I've embedded a active RFID tag and a battery. There's also a push to close relay in the helmet itself. So what happens is when the person puts on their helmet, the push to close relay closes, allowing battery to flow from allowing energy to flow from the battery to the RFID tag. The second component actually goes on the bike itself. It's basically made up of three different parts. RFID reader, an alarm, and a motion sensor, all packaged into a weatherproof enclosure. If someone is wearing their helmet appropriately and they jump on their bike, the component on the bike will recognize that the helmet is in range and disactivate the alarm. Now, if someone tries to jump on the bike without wearing the specific helmet, the bike is going to recognize motion and the alarm will go off as soon as the person tries to ride away. This accomplishes three different things. Number one, it prevents theft. A thief is much less likely to run away with a bike if a siren is going off really loudly. Number two, people can't ride their bike without their helmet. This is definitely the most important thing out of all three. And number three, due to the positioning of the relay actually won't close unless the people are wearing their helmets properly. So that's basically it. If you want more detailed technical descriptions, better pictures, I posted a link to my provisional patent, which I filed last December, on the application. Now let's go and talk about potential questions that people might have. That's a great question, but I don't think so. See, the component is actually locked on the bike with a key. Now, if the parents were the ones who are hoping to keep their children safe, they could actually keep the key. Now, couldn't they just take out the battery? No, because when the component is locked on the bike, the battery compartment is actually inaccessible, making this thing almost impossible to disable. That's another great question, but the really only material that impedes a radio frequency signal is metal. So the tissues in your head and the foam and plastic on the helmet shouldn't impede the signal very much, if at all. This is a good question and one that we haven't been able to answer completely yet. Our initial talks with engineering design firms have given us a figure of around $4 to $5 per unit. Although this is a rough estimate, we still feel we can manufacture this product at low enough costs to make it feasible for the customer and still deliver us a decent profit margin. Remember the push-to-close relay? That's why we included it. You actually have to be wearing your helmet for the RFID tag to put out a signal, and thus you can't just keep it on your handlebars. I hope I piqued your interest. We could really use your help. Things like patents and prototypes cost a lot of money for two kids who just came out of college. Also, we have thousands of unanswered questions that we would just love to be able to bounce off you guys. We need mentors to help us succeed, and we know that you guys can be the right people for us. Thanks, and we look forward to hearing back from you.